What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content, right? And so, what I want to do is I want to respond to this Austin Reeves, what he said about Rich Paul, and this clip resurfaced in my timeline, right? And I don't think that the question about why Rich Paul has a podcast, I don't think is an old question. I don't think it's I think because when you look at it from the point of view of his clients, to manage a professional athlete is a full-time job, and then when you have several professional athletes and then you have a podcast on top of that, I just think it takes away from your focus. At the very least, your attention, in my opinion, is your attention is divided. And so if I'm a client of Rich Paul, I want him to focus more so on strategic media planning and media placement for me. I want Rich Paul to be you know, amplifying my social presence, in different on different platforms. Just have different programs that is going to enhance me and help me to make money and help my brand, right? Um, it just seems like he's more focused on his brand, Clutch, than he is on his players. He only player he really talk about or speak on is LeBron James. So and like he has Anthony Davis. He don't speak about Anthony Davis a whole lot. Tyrese Maxey. He'll speak about these guys if it's in relation to LeBron James, right? Because I mean, I had no idea at first that he was even Tyrese Maxey's agent until he was, he brought it up about teaming up LeBron and Tyrese Maxey in Philly, right? So now, like I said, if I'm his client, I'm like, look, you spend so much time speaking on LeBron James and you looking out for LeBron James, but it just shows, it makes it seem like he's like favoritism, right? Whereas though you, as an agent, you can't have that. You want to be, at least want to get the appearance that you looking out for all your clients. Every business had big clients and they had small clients, but just because I'm a smaller client, that don't mean that I don't want you to look out for my interests the same way you do your larger clients, right? Because as a smaller client, I may need you more than the bigger client. Like LeBron James has more leverage, or he had more leverage than Tyrese Maxey, and a few of the other clients that Rich Paul had. So he's the one who need the least amount of promoting. So let me play what Austin Reeves played, what he had to say about Rich Paul, and then I'm gonna come back and give some more of my input.
Look, why do you have a podcast, Rich? You are an agent, meaning you're supposed to be in the background running all the other stuff. You coming out at the forefront and giving your opinions on the game and like saying this stuff, it doesn't work. Are there any other sports agents that have big podcasts right now?
No.
In the NBA? Zero. Yeah. Shouldn't have a podcast about basketball. Shouldn't happen. It's a conflict of interest for one, just because your main client, the client that built this with you, plays for the Lakers. So you talking about Lakers roster and who they need to trade as an agent is wild.
Yeah, players have podcasts.
You're not a player.
Yeah.
I don't know any other agents who are sitting there on the mic talking. But why do you have a podcast?
And I don't even, in my opinion, I don't even think players should have a podcast, at least, especially during the season. But and like I said, I thought it was wild. It was crazy when he said that when Rich Paul said that Austin Reeves, the Lakers should consider trading Austin Reeves. I just never, I could have never imagined like David Falk, Michael Jordan's, his agent saying something like that. And, then you had David Stern. I just think that would not have went over well with the NBA. If he, you requesting somebody to get trade from another team, somebody that you don't even represent, it just wouldn't have went over well in the NBA, right? And so, and also said that your agent should be in the background, which I agree, because as an agent, you just have so much going on, and you have to watch so many different things. It just don't make any sense for this guy to be out in public, with his own show, speaking on your number one client or your largest client. I just think it hurts. It hurts you, right? And so Rich Paul even made a statement. Rich Paul even made a statement that other people were trying to undercut him when it came to like clients and recruiting more clients, right? Him having a show like that and speaking as freely as he speaks, he's just giving his opponents more ammunition. They can take anything he say and just put their slant on it and run with that, So he put himself at risk to being caught up in certain situations that I think is going to hurt him. Rich Paul said that he thinks that in some ways, LeBron James, like him being LeBron James' agent, has hurt them, because other agents are saying, well, all he's going to do is really focus on LeBron James. If you go over to Clutch Sports, they're not really going to be worried about you. Their number one concern is LeBron James, and that's a good point. That's a good point. If you're an agent, I mean, I would say the same thing. I'm like, you're not going to get the attention that you need from Clutch because LeBron James is their number one client. You can see for yourself that, all Rich Paul talk about is LeBron James. Every move that he make is beneficial to LeBron James. So why not come and join us when you're going to be our priority? Right? That's the pitch right there. You're going to be our priority. You don't have to worry about us showing LeBron James any favoritism over you. We're going to make sure that we help you build your brand. We're going to protect your image, and we're going to make sure you make a lot of money. We're going to get the most we can get for you and your contract negotiation. And that's what people want to hear. They don't want you can, like going and signing with Clutch. And I know some people probably are still going to sign with Clutch, but going and signing with Clutch, some kids are gonna be like, I want to go somewhere where as though it's all about me, not somewhere where you think that you could be used as leverage for LeBron James, or so it's not a good look. It's not a wise move for Rich Paul to be on, have his own podcast. You don't see other agents doing it, just like Austin said, you don't see other agents doing it. And sometimes when you don't see other agents doing it, that don't mean that they're not doing it for a good reason. If you want to keep certain information close to the vest, when you speak publicly, like Rich Paul speak publicly a lot of times, this also gives your opponents like a look into like what your mindset is, what your pattern, like what are your and how you kind of think. So when you go to sit down at a negotiating table, people kind of get a insight of like, all right, this is how he thinks, this is what his mindset is, and they can use that against you. That, like I said, it's important for him to be in the background as an agent and making sure that his clients know that he's looking out for their best interest, even if they're the smallest client, like somebody at the end of the bench, right? And you only get, you may not even get a max contract. You may not even get a second contract. So does that mean that Rich Paul can't put a program together that's going to help you, set you up for the future? You only going to get one big contract. I just think that this guy right here, he's not an agent, and I don't think this is like a trend, something that like agents going going to be doing, because it don't give him an advantage. Now, if this was something that gave him an advantage, then other people would do it. Be like, oh man, he was able to land this person and that person and this person and that person. Cool. Then you'll see other people hopping on the bandwagon and doing the same thing. But I can't see where telling people what you think publicly gives you an advantage. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.